Hello and welcome back to my channel. Well, today I'm very pleased to be able to show you part of a mock that I'm currently building, and it's Capes and Cowls Cafe. I know that Lego did a little set a few years back, but I kind of wanted to recreate it in a way that was much closer to the cartoon, the DC Superhero Girls cartoons. So that's what I've done. We've got Mad Harriet there and Lashina. They're outside the cafe door, and we've got Lena Luthor here. Also, Crypto is waiting very faithfully for Supergirl, who's inside, and there's a little Crypto there. He'd fallen over, Kryptonite. But yes, so I did want to do this before because I thought this would be a good display for the mini dolls. What would be a good display for them? The DC Superhero Girls would be to actually do the cafe. But like I say, I looked at the set Lego did and thought, you know, I'm sure I could do better than that. So, but I've taken the original stickers from the set and put them on the windows. Some of these tiles here, which I haven't been able to use as yet, but that's what the plan to do was. To use those. So I put those there to remind me to use them somewhere in the mock. And yes, what I did is I looked on YouTube also, and just in case anybody else had done a mock of the Capes and Cowls Cafe, and Thor the Brick Builder has done that. So I actually took a lot of ideas from him, although I did try and base it right from the cartoon stills that I was able to obtain. So shall we have a look inside? So round the back, this is the side of the building as it is in the show. It's like that, although it's much bigger where it says Capes and Cowls on the side in the show. That's a little serving hatch, so people can buy food from the outside. I've still got to do a few details here to show the menu. I think that's what it is. So around the back, I think the building goes against another building, so it's just more like a modular. These sides didn't matter what colour they were because they were not on, public view to the general public in the cartoon. So I'll just show you another angle now, and I'll open it up. So I'm going to open up here. Now this is an idea I took from Thor the Brick Builder. So an excellent idea was to have these on a hinge so that you can open up the whole building and get into it without having to, fit your hand into a small space. So if you can see what I've done, move this into sight, is I've managed to put the counters in, and there's some of the characters as well there. Put a general, he's a general public person there, but the other characters, the DC superheroes, are sat down there ready for food. So I noticed in the show that they had writing on the wall. Now they had Zap, so I've managed to put that in tiles. I think it says POW there. I haven't yet managed to do that because I've got the colour scheme right, but haven't managed to get that in there as yet. Put a little fridge in here, and then the door there. Across here we have the 4 arcades. I'm currently building the arcades, so this level isn't quite complete. But as we come round here, we can see that the minifigures, the mini dolls, are sat here on these seats. So again, I used Thor the Brick Builder's idea here because I thought it was an absolutely excellent idea, and I couldn't not use it because it's very difficult to get them sitting in seats like this. Like I say, go and check out Thor the Brick Builder's video because it's very good. But the idea is to, some food falling down there, is to put their feet on little studs underneath, because you can't sit them down properly on the seats. They fall off all the time. So if you put their feet on there, on the bottom of there, then that holds them still, and then you can just put your whole thing down on some jumper studs underneath, you see, and then that holds them still. And opening the wall up means you can do that easily without it being too difficult. Again, like that, it's just so easy just to open it up and to do it that way. So I've tried to keep the colour scheme inside as close as possible. I think these are like wavy orange lines on yellow in the show. Very difficult to do that unless you had stickers or something. So that was my idea, and I wanted to do the colour scheme as close as possible and the details as close as possible. Haven't managed to achieve all of them. There's some parts that just Lego don't do that you kind of would need to use them. But so we got Steve here at the counter serving food, and the counter is absolutely laden with food Lego food I found. Supergirl, Wonder Woman here, who's obviously Steve's friend, and she's talking to him and thinking about giving him a hand, if you've watched that episode. So again, the floor was grey with pink swirls on it, so I've done grey floor with pink, square tiles, but that's kind of the same kind of colour pattern. The window, it's very difficult because I wanted to make it a biggish window. Really, the window should be here, but this is the biggest part I had, this window, and although it's not the right shape really, it would be ideal if it just sort of came to there and ended and slotted into there. I wanted it to be a big window because that's what it looks like on the show from the outside. So I've done that and it just fits into there like that. So it's not ideal. This comes over, but of course I could always put some lights down here because I think that you do see some structure with lights showing down there. So I could use that for that. But that's the best I could do it for now. So I've made it two-tone. The inside interior colour, this should really have dots over it, but this medium blue colour was as close to that side as possible. On the outside, well, first let me show you here, again on this back wall it says Kablam. Again, I managed to do that in tiles. It's pink on orange. That was difficult for me to get the pieces. There's still one piece I can't get, but I've managed to cover it up cleverly there. In the show I can't tell if this is a TV screen or windows. It's not that obvious, but that's kind of what it looks like there. And again, the colour scheme, the abstract art on the wall, I've tried to get a suggestion of what it is and use the colours that they've used just to get that idea really. Really, it should have about 4 lots of seats, and there's only 2 there. It takes up a lot of space seating these mini dolls. So, but anyway, I'm glad I managed to get a couple of sets of seats in there in order to show that off. Again, little fridge there, and food on the counter down there. But the colour scheme I've used is this colour here of Lego on the outside is light yellow. So this is the colour that Lego don't do anymore, and it's been replaced, I think, by the new light bright yellow, or as Lego calls it, cool yellow. But this is the old light yellow, and I remember years ago buying lots of it because I wanted to build a house in this colour. And then I did, and I took it apart, and I haven't used them for years. So finally I get to use these light yellow bricks, because that is as close to the cartoon as possible. And then I've used the dark pink colour here as well, which is close. Managed to make the awning as well. Very pleased how I managed to make that as well, because that looks very much like it does in the show. So this, if you notice, is only 1 level. There is actually a 2nd level in the series, in the Capes and Cowl Cafe, and then there's even like a roof terrace bit where they can actually land on it and get into the cafe from that way. So I've got to yet do the 2nd floor, but I'm very pleased with what I've done so far and how I've managed to match the colours. It's taken a lot of orders off Bricklink in order to get all the pieces, little tiny pieces that I needed to make it the right colour scheme. So yeah, let me know what you think about it. Do you like it? Is there any details I've missed? I think on the front there are supposed to be a couple of little trees and a magazine stand, but I'll get round to doing that at some point. I've got to finish off my arcades first, and the arcades go near the back. I think there's about 4 arcades at the back, so I need to put those in. In the original Lego set there's only 1 arcade, but there's 4 in the real Capes and Cowl Cafe. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it inspired you to do something, maybe for your minifigures, for your mini dolls, to display them. But I'm really pleased with this, and meanwhile all the superheroes are enjoying their food, tucking into food, having a great day. And yeah, Lena Luthor here is not very happy about that. They're all having food together. But she's got to be careful because Crypto's there watching her. So right, hope you enjoyed the video. Take care until I see you next time. Bye bye.